Hey, Christie here from loomingcraftyfiberarts. Today I'd like to teach you how to do the Not Your Granny seed stitch in the flat panel version. I do have a in the round version that'll be out this Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here on my YouTube channel. It will look totally different than this one, and you can tell that from my thumbnail that comes up when you click on this video. And I will show you a little sample of the end of the round here in just a second so you can see the differences. This is done on any gauge of loom, or can be done on any gauge of loom, any weight of yarn. It doesn't matter. It's very versatile, and it'll look good. Lacier if you do it with a lower weight on a little bit bigger gauge, and it'll be thicker. You know how it goes if you loom that much. But this pattern to me has a very rustic look. It has. And if you don't like that rustic look, you may not like this pattern. But I like the rustic look myself. I really like rustic stuff. So, if you look at it this way, you can see there's a little bit of like faint columns here that divide it into columns. And you can see it this way too, vertically. And I think that gives it a little more character. And it has texture like a seed stitch. It doesn't quite, it does in places. It sticks up some. It's kind of like low and high places in it, kind of like an uneven yarn look. Even though this yarn is not uneven, it's not thick and thin, it kind of gives that look, which I think is interesting. It's because of the stitches I use to do this. And I highly suggest you wait till I get the video out for the round version before you try the round version, because it has to be done a certain way, differently than this one. The stitches are the same and the rows are the same. It's a 2-row repeat, but it's a little bit different. I'm going to show you why when I get to that video. Okay, so here is in comparison in the round version. And this is the small in the round version. You can see there's more definition of the stitches, it looks like, and it just looks totally different from this one. In the round, flat, same stitch. Okay, so to get started, we are going to, as I said, this is a half gauge and a number 4 weight yarn, and we are going to, for row 1, we're going to slip the first stitch. And that will give me this nice little chain edging here, which I think looks good with it. That's up to you whether you want to use it or not, but that's what I'm going to show you. As far as your cast on, I did a garter cast on, my improved garter cast on. I'll leave the link below to that if you want to go look at it. But you can use any cast on you want. That's up to you. Okay, so we're going to slip peg 1. We're going to E-wrap 2 times. So you got 1, 2, 3 loops on your first, will actually be second peg, and we're going to knit those, and then we're going to go to our second peg. And normally where you do the regular seed stitch, you knit, which could be any knit stitch. We're doing the E-wrap here twice, and then you purl. So we're going to purl this second stitch, but we're going to take our working yarn, I'm going to wrap around the back side of that peg, just like that, and then we're going to purl it again. And I think I'm going to call this the purl around. I don't know if anybody else has done this. If they have, please let me know. I'll give them credit. But I think I'm going to call this purl around, and it's in my Purl Hug Stitch. And if you haven't seen my Purl Hug Stitch, I'll put the link below to that too. So there may be some stitches in the future that you'll see this stitch more in. Okay, so now we're going to go to our next peg, and we are going to double E-wrap again. Knit those 2 loops on the bottom, and then we're going to purl this peg, and we're going to wrap around. I'm going to show you this way. This peg right here, we'll wrap around the back side, and then we're going to purl again. Okay, and then I'm U-wrapping that last peg to get the nice neat edging. Okay, that's row 1. Now, since we E-wrapped here, purled and purl over here, double E-wrapped here, purl and purl over here, we're going to start this one with an E-wrap. We're going to do the opposite of what we did before. Okay? So let's go over that again. E-wrap, I'm just going to say E-wrap, purl, E-wrap, purl. E-wrap, purl, E-wrap, purl. Okay? So now we're going to E-wrap this peg, double E-wrap, knit, got that in a little tight, and then purl, purl around, back side, then we're going to double E-wrap again. You don't want to wrap too tight there. And purl, purl around. And when you purl around, make sure you go in between, you go around from where your little knot is here. Can you see that little knot? And go around the back side of the peg in between the two, the one before that you just worked. Don't go over here on this side and go around, because then you'll be going around the front. You'll go around the back side of the peg. And then purl. And then U-wrap. And that's all there is to it. That is Not Your Granny's seed stitch flat panel. And it will look like this. Okay? So if anybody has any questions or comments or anything, let me know. You can put it in the description box below. Or if you're in my Looming Crafty Fiber Arts group on Facebook, you can ask me there. Or you can email me at the email links below in the description box. Okay? And that's all I have for you today. Thursday, we will be working on the in the round version. Okay? Thank you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.